Hi guys, and welcome to my post-race vlog for round 6 of the SG Petch Sprint Championship. It was a bit of a weekend to forget, to be honest. We only had 15 drivers on the grid for the lightweights class. I have to say I was a little bit disappointed to see that. Normally we have grids of 20 to 25 drivers, so I was actually really surprised as well. I thought after the summer break a lot of people would be kind of eager to get going again, want to come back racing and kick things off after the summer break, but apparently not. But you know, it is what it is, and hopefully there'll be some more people back for the next round, the final round of the championship, round 7, which is in early October. So what else to say? Well, bit of a weekend to forget. Driving standards were a bit of a mess as well. I don't know whether people have had just like a long sleep over the summer and forgotten how to race each other cleanly, but there was a lot of pushing, a lot of bumping, a lot of shoving. I saw a lot of driving standards flags going out as well on the digiboard, so that was no surprise. I was involved in a couple of incidents myself, and in the heavyweights the red flag got brought out in one of the races because we had a spinner and then a kart with a head-on collision going over the top of another kart, which, you know, obviously it's not what we want to see, and Dave Cyrus and the other chap involved, you know, walked away from it. Really fortunate. You know, it could have been quite a nasty accident, so good to see that they walked away from that. But unfortunately, like I say, in the lightweight, some heavy shunts as well, and it ruined a few people's races. So in terms of my races, qualifying I thought was okay, to be honest. It was kind of still a damp track. You know, it'd been raining overnight, and through the heavies they'd had a wet track and it was starting to dry out. So we went out in qualifying and my kart felt okay, to be fair. At one point I seemed like I was catching Adam Delmont, and I thought, well, if I'm catching and keeping with it, and then that's not a bad thing. You know, hopefully I'm on for a good time. I did wonder, should I come in and change my kart? Obviously I didn't, and ended up P10 on the grid. I was a little bit disappointed. My kart felt good, I thought. You know, it seemed quite good on turning, didn't seem oversteery or anything. Maybe I was just taking a little bit too steady in the drying conditions, I don't know. But then in the race, you know, I qualified P10, so in the race finished position 8 in race 1, and I thought, you know what, that's okay given my kart on the drying track. The more the track dried out, the more oversteer it seemed to get. So I was kind of starting to wonder if there's maybe something with the rear tyres, if they've gone off and they need to change. So I'm guessing it was something like that. But unfortunately, because we only had 15 drivers, we still did the reverse grid. I was the only driver finishing P8 that didn't get to change karts. So obviously sometimes you can change kart for a better one, but you can also change karts for a worse one. So I suppose it's always luck of the draw. But I was a bit annoyed that I didn't get to change kart. I knew what was wrong with my kart. I knew the characteristics of it. I knew what I was going to have to contend with. I was desperately hoping for some more rain to even the field out a little bit. But we got a little bit more drizzle in race 1, and that kind of helped a little bit, but not much. So yeah, race 1, maybe not so forgettable. A couple of nice moments in it. A double overtake into South Bank, up the inside of 2 drivers who were battling, and then a really great moment through the front D, going side by side with Robson Jenkins. And it's not that often you get to do that, to be honest. I've done it once before against Ben Shepherd, and you know, we give each other racing room, and that's really nice when you get something like that and you do have that chance to go side by side with drivers and you have that respect. He gave me space on the entry, I gave him space through the later part of the corner, and then into turn 1, because I had the inside line, I got the position. So that was nice, and it's things like that that make racing really good fun and really exciting, that you can have that clean racing. So yeah, race 1 maybe not so forgettable, not great, you know, greatly overwhelmed with the result, really not too happy with that. Race 2, on the other hand, really was a race to forget. The start of race 2 was a little bit of chaos, to be honest. On the grid in front of me and off to my right, I had 2 drivers, both of whom had one of their 2 engines stall on the grid. So as everyone went with the flag dropping, the 2 guys straight in front of me were going nowhere. I got stuck behind them. The guys on the right of me on the grid got through the gap. I got stuck behind one. And then, to be honest, some of the faster guys behind, I think there needs to be a little bit more respect, to be honest. There was a lot of bumping, shoving, big impacts going through the front D, and you know, you're not going to win the race on the first corner or the first lap. All you can do is ruin someone else's race or ruin your own. So I just felt like there should have been a little bit more racing room given, a little bit more, right, let's just get through the first couple of corners and then get into things. But it is what it is, and you know, maybe it'll improve, maybe it won't. You know, obviously if I'd been further up the grid, it wouldn't have been much of an issue, to be honest, you know, because I'd have been out in the middle of it. I think some of it was because I was in the mid-pack, but it is what it is. The other incident that I want to talk about was the incident that happened to me about a third of the way into the race. I was going out of the S's, and I've been following this guy for a couple of laps, out of the S's into the first hairpin. I was really close to him, lunged down the inside, under braking to take the inside line. What happened then? I got pinched. And then, because that spun me round, again, unfortunately, Robson, who I apologised to straight after race 2, he's been in traffic, he's not seen me, and he's come head on into me. Owen's been blind to me reversing around the corner effectively, and he's taken avoiding action, gone round the outside, and unfortunately gone into the barriers. So I've apologised to both the guys straight after the race. It's unfortunate, you know, you've got to make racing moves. It's just really, really annoying when it turns out like that, and it's not just your race it ruins, when it ruins someone else's race and they had no involvement in it. So, you know, I do feel pretty guilty about that, and it's not something that I want to happen again. So I kind of settled down. That put me from about position 8 to pretty much the back of the grid. Head down, carry on with the race, you know, just keep doing the laps. And I was making progress. I got back up to about position 9, 10 out of 15 on the track. And Ashley Savage in the second race, I don't know what was wrong with his car, clearly had some kind of issue. Looking on the lap deltas available on Alpha Timing, you know, his lap time was decreasing every lap, so he clearly had an issue with his car. And then I was racing alongside another chap as well, and we got to a point where we both caught Ashley. Ashley, to be fair to him, was defending really well, he was defending really hard, and that's his right to do that. You know, you're entitled to defend your line even if you're in a slower car. I think he was doing that fairly. What happened next though was, at one of the hairpins on the track, so the second hairpin after the S's, the chap in front of me made a really, really late lunge down the inside of Ashley, and I think maybe he was frustrated. He'd been trying to get past for a couple of laps, but it was a very late lunge. He tried to go around the outside of the hairpin before and take the inside line into the next one. Unfortunately, all he's ended up doing is out-braking himself and T-boning Ashley. I've tried to go around the outside, and then as the driver who caused the accident has turned left to get out of the accident, he's then T-boned me and spun me. I've then gone backwards, got stuck on the edge of the track, so I've had to get out and pull my cart back onto the track. So this was costing loads of time. And unfortunately, I then had another spin coming out of South Bank, so I don't know whether my tyres were dirty or maybe got a slow puncture or something, but it's a corner that I've never spun on before, so I was really surprised to get on the brakes and just drop the cart under braking. Like I say, it's not something that's happened before, so I don't know what happened there. Unfortunately, that put me at the back of the pack, and that's kind of where I stayed. Yeah, that was 2 laps from the end, so I was going for possibly 8th, 9th in the second race, and unfortunately I've come home 15th. But it is what it is. Anyway, let's have a look at the race results and see where things stand. So, in the heavyweights, and in the lightweights, so there's a lot left to play for in the last round. I think there's some fairly close battles still going on. My championship, yeah, not a great result, and obviously it's probably going to be one of my drop rounds now. Who knows where I'm going to finish this year. I'd like to think I could still get top 5, but I think it's going to be a very, very tough ask in round 7. I'm going to need a very good result. So as far as I'm aware, round 7 is on the international circuit, and hopefully we'll have a few more drivers back. We'll have a bit more clean racing over the races and the qualifying as well.